so bulking versus cutting. What is bulking? What is cutting? Should you bulk first? Should you cut first? Can you do both at the same time? We're going to cover all that sort of stuff in this video. So first of all, bulking. What is bulking? So simpler, there's no actual definition for what bulking is, but simpler, bulking is when you are eating in a calorie surplus in order to put on muscle mass. Obviously, while you're putting on muscle mass and eating these excess calories, you're gonna store fat. That's just how it is. But it's how you do it. So you can do a dirty bulk and you can do a clean bulk, which we'll get onto later in the video. Then also on the other hand, we've got a cut. So what is a cut? A cut is when you are eating in a calorie deficit. So you're eating less calories than you're burning every day or every week. The goal of this is to shred down the excess body fat which you are storing on your body. So we're going to talk about which would be better for you personally and how you know whether to bulk or whether to cut. And we're also going to talk about can you do both at the same time rather than having to pick one or the other. So again, before we get started in the detail of this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, so you hear quite a lot of people saying, oh, I want to lose weight, but that's not what you want to do. You don't want to lose the weight. What you want to do is you want to change your body composition. So you've got a person who is 80 kg, has got high body fat and low muscle mass. So you put them on a 12-week training program. At the end of the 12 weeks, they are now still at the same weight, 80 kg, but now their body composition has changed. So they've shredded off a lot of fat and also gained a lot of muscle mass. Therefore, their weight would have stayed the same. So when you hear people say, I want to lose weight, you want to try and change your body composition. And by changing your body composition, obviously through diet and through training, whether you're doing a bulk, whether you're doing a cut, then you're going to see the benefits. Don't worry about the weight which you see on the scales every morning or every week. Yeah, so whether you want to bulk or whether you want to cut, your first step should be to work out your BMR. And your BMR stands for your base metabolic rate. You can just go online and type in BMR calculator or something like that, and it'll come up with an equation. Just fill that in. It'll ask you for your age, your weight, all that sort of stuff, and then it'll come up with your activity level as well. So obviously you'll have like not very active, lightly active or very active, and that just times is your BMR by a certain 1 point something to work out how many calories you will be burning in a day. So let's say for me, I would put in the BMR calculator, all my details, blah, 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 and then I would times it by very active and it'd give me a number. So this number then, for me personally, if I were to be in a calorie deficit, I'd need to be eating less than that number. Again, if I were to be in a calorie surplus, I'd have to eat more than that number. Yeah, so bulking. When you are bulking, the goal is going to be to put on size, so to put on muscle mass. But while you're doing this, because you're eating more calories, you're going to be in a calorie surplus, you are likely to put on fat as well. So you've got two choices. You can either do a clean bulk, which I would recommend, or as well you can do a dirty bulk, which is it's also effective when you're trying to put on size. Both of them are just as effective, but I would advise to do a clean bulk just because it's more healthier, and it's more of a healthier option than, as we're going to talk about, what you are eating during this dirty bulk. So when you are clean bulking, you're going to be eating lean proteins like chicken and white fish. You're going to be eating complex carbohydrates like brown rice. You're going to be eating healthy fats like avocados or nuts. So you're still hitting a calorie surplus, but you're getting your food in from healthy sources. Whereas a dirty bulk, you are again still in a calorie surplus, so you're still eating more calories than you're burning, but you're not focusing on the quality of the food or the healthiness of the food. So you might be going KFC, McDonald's, you might be eating chocolate bars, crisp, anything like that in order just to get the calories in. And I'm not saying dirty bulk's not effective, but in health terms, you're gonna want to do a clean bulk rather than a dirty bulk. A lot of people who have been training for many years and have got to a certain stage where they might have plateaued will just go in a dirty bulk and try and eat as much food in order to get them small differences to try and advance their physique. So people who are hard gainers who have kind of plateaued may find a dirty bulk to be more effective than a clean bulk. Yeah, so now we're going to talk about cutting. So again, as before, as I said at the start, cutting is when you are eating in a calorie deficit in order to reduce your body fat percentage. So you're going to be in, let's say for example, I need 2,000 calories in a day. That's how many calories I burn. So I'm going to be wanting to intake 1,800, 1,700 calories in order to be eating less than I'm burning throughout that day. Yeah, so a lot of the time when people are deciding whether to do a bulk or a cut, let's say for example they choose to do a bulk, they will up their calories by a drastic amount. So for example, someone who usually takes in 2,500 calories, they are now going to up this to 3,300 calories. So there's an 800 calorie difference. So that's a big jump. So, and again with cutting, you might be on the opposite scale. So you might usually have 2,500 and now drop down drastically to 1,700 calories. And in the short term, doing an aggressive cut or an aggressive bulk can be beneficial, but in the long term, you're gonna really make it more difficult for yourself to then go and lose more body fat, or gain more muscle mass, or lose more body fat, or put on more body fat. It's just gonna make it harder in the long term for yourself. Yeah, so when I'm speaking to people in my Instagram DMs or WhatsApp or Facebook, and I'm talking to them about training or the diet, and they're asking me for advice, a lot of the time, because the people my age or a few years younger or around my age anyway, what they're not doing is they're not eating enough food. Because at that age, at like the 18, let's say if you're an 18-year-old, for example, your metabolism will be a lot higher, or a lot faster, sorry, than someone who is 35 or 40. So you're gonna be processing the food a lot quicker than someone of an older age. So let's say for that example, you're gonna need to intake even more food in the first place for yourself to grow. So when I'm speaking to people, a lot of the time they just generally aren't eating enough, and that's the main point. So let's say for someone's never trained before, first day at the gym, you're going to get something called newbie gains. So you're going to see rapid muscle growth in them first few months of training. That's just how it is. It's called newbie gains. And then after that, you need to make sure, well, not after that, throughout that period, and after that, you need to make sure you are eating enough food and getting enough calories in to support that muscle growth. Yeah, so another question I get asked as well is, should I cut first and then bulk, or should I bulk first and then cut? So I would advise, if you are, let's say, well, it's known as skinny fat, but let's say you're over 15% body fat for a male, sorry. If you are over 15% body fat and you go on a bulk, so you've already got a high percentage body fat, and then you go on a bulk, what you will find is insulin resistance. You will have a slowed protein synthesis rate. You will also have increased estrogen and decreased testosterone. Obviously, all these aren't beneficial things for muscle growth and body composition growth, or improvement, should I say. So what I would advise, if you are over that, not bang on 15%, but if you are at a higher body fat rate, I would advise starting with a cut. Again, if you are under that 15% rate, I would advise starting with a clean bulk. So as I said at the start or before, complex carbs, lean proteins, healthy fats, go in a clean bulk just to try and put some muscle mass on. And then once you get to a desired physique point, you may think about like shredding this last layer of body fat down. Yeah, so do you have to cut? Do you have to bulk? Can you do both at the same time? I think so, yes. So if you're wanting to bulk at the same time as cutting, this is going to be putting on muscle mass while also reducing your body fat percentage. So to do this, you're going to be wanting to eat in a calorie deficit, but don't drop your protein, so your macronutrient protein level. So let's say you're having around 160 grams a day, and then you want to cut. So you're going to be cutting your calories in general, so you might drop your carbs and your fats, but you want to be keeping your protein at the same level, so that protein synthesis is going to be stimulated. Because you obviously, as I said, when you train, you're going to get your muscles and proteins there to repair and rebuild their muscles. So to bulk and to cut at the same time, drop your overall calories down, but keep your protein intake up. That way your muscles stimulated, you're still training, still resistance training at heavy weights, to stimulate muscle growth. And as well, while doing this, because you're in a calorie deficit, you are going to be losing the body fat anyway. Yeah, so I hope this video about bulking and cutting made the whole topic make it a bit more understandable. So thank you for watching the video for one, and for two, if you don't follow me on Instagram already, just drop me a follow on there. And if you do have any worries or questions or queries about your physique or your diet or your training, don't be scared or frightened to just drop me a DM, because I'm always open for DMs just to try and help people or point people in the right direction. So again, thank you a lot for watching the video, and I'll see you lot in the next video.